Hello interwebs, and welcome to S.P.L.U.S.H, the Human Revolution. Today we have a very interesting versus matchup between Megaman and Samus Aran. The reason why is because they're very similar characters. They both have an arm cannon thingy, they both have a large number of enemies and a multitude of games, and for the earlier games, they both the NES games, they both moved in much the same way, and, they were basically the same game, but with a few different things here and there. So, I just wanted to see which would be better. Now, for those of you who live under a rock, Mega Man is a character designed after the infamous Astro Boy, who is a manga, anime, cartoon, hero thing with movies and stuff. And he was given an arm cannon and told to fight off the evil forces of Dr. Wily, which means that 8 Robot Master bosses across 8 games before he gets knocked off and turned into a new saga, again with 8 games, and each with 8 Robot Masters, and blah blah blah. I mean, that's like 2 or 3 times that happens, so yeah. Metroid, again, for those of you who live under a rock, is about this chick named Samus Aran, who is an intergalactic bounty hunter badass extraordinaire. She was born on this little planet in the middle of nowhere. It got fucked over by the space pirates, and Ridley killed her parents right in front of her, and so it's become her life goal to kill that freaking pterodactyl thingy. So, as you can see, we've got 2 very different storylines, but similar gameplay, similar character designs. I mean, Mega Man is blue and Samus is red, but really. And by the way, Metroid did come out first, so. But, that aside, we're going to focus on who would win in a fight. So, speed. Now, neither of these characters are particularly fast most of the time. And since I'm using the original version of Mega Man, not the X version or the network games, because there's like 12 different versions of Mega Man, but I'm using the original version. So with that, he doesn't have a whole lot in the way of speed. He has, he has his assistant robot things that can let him move faster, but he himself doesn't have a speed boost. Sorry about that. Anyway, so Samus, as I mentioned in previous video, has a little bit of speed boost, but it's not really super mentionable. I mean, they're both faster than the average human, but they're not necessarily super fast. They're not going to be breaking the speed of sound or anything like that. So, as far as speed, they're pretty close to even match. Now, we go for strength. And as I mentioned in a previous video, Samus, strength-wise, doesn't necessarily have a lot going on, because it never shows her doing anything that's particularly strenuous. But, Mega Man kind of falls into the same trap. I mean, we're only talking about the games, not all of these spin-off comics and stuff, but Mega Man in his original games doesn't really do anything that I would consider a feat of strength. I mean, he runs around and he shoots things. I mean, it's the jump and shoot game. That's all it is. You run, you jump, you shoot. That's it. So, yeah, I mean, there's a little bit of variation here and there, but he doesn't ever, lift heavy objects. He doesn't ram into enemies to kill them. I mean, it's a platformer, so touching an enemy kills you, but so as far as that goes, I don't think he's particularly strong. So we'll say that his robot strength is equal to her exosuit strength. I mean, they'd both be stronger than a normal human, and probably by quite a lot, but, you know, she is a genetically enhanced with a robo suit, and he's just the robo suit, so, yeah, I mean, they're probably about even strength. Now, here's where it gets interesting. So when we come to durability. As far as durability goes, Mega Man in his early games had this huge, ridiculous bar of health that's just a bunch of dots. And as you get hit, the dots go down, and that's bad. So, he had a lot of dots. And there were a couple of expansions where you could get more dots, or, an extra health bar. And that's pretty good. Samus has a maximum energy shield of 99, and she can get a butt ton of extra energy tanks that, add 99 to her total again. The number of dots Mega Man has is, I think, like 40. It's a lot of dots. It looks very impressive, but it's not 99. And the rate at which they take damage is pretty similar in their own things. Neither of them are invincible, and neither of them have a very high tolerance for damage. So it comes down to the level of damage that you can take. Like the life bar is basically what it comes down to. And I think Samus, in general, has more health options than Mega Man. So we'll give that to Samus. Then we come into intelligence, and Mega Man may be a robot, which makes him pretty smart, but he's not that smart. I mean, think about it. How many times does he have to go through this exact same formula of 8 bosses to fight Wily before he realizes, dude, Wily, we're done. You're going away forever. Just kill you or something. Well, it took him 3 games to figure that out. So that's yeah. Yeah. Okay, well, maybe Mega Man is a little bit tolerant of Dr. Wily and his evil schemes, but that doesn't necessarily make him stupid, right? Well, it kind of does. I mean, he has the mind of a child. He was developed as a robot, he was developed to learn and think, but he wasn't given any huge databanks of knowledge. He wasn't given all the information of mankind shoved into his processors when he was formed. No, he was just put in the world and they told him to learn. So he's basically like a little kid. I mean, he learns a lot faster, and he can pick up on things, and he does a lot of puzzle solving and gameplay. But story wise, he has the mind of a child. So versus someone who's got a lot more experience, really, and a helpful little system to pick up information whenever, uh, Samus probably wins in the field of intelligence. Then we come over to the last, well, second to last category of, uh, combat skill. And as far as combat skill is concerned, I would again say Samus wins. Not only is she facing a different scenario every time instead of the same one over and over, but she's facing it in different places, different environments. She's constantly having to struggle against new threats that she hasn't faced before. And because she's an international bounty hunter, it's reasonable to assume that there's probably some stuff that she does which is not worth making a game out of. Also, I mean, really, Mega Man, he fights 8 Robot Masters. They're always a different 8, but they're always based on animals. They always have predictable little things that you can exploit, and they're always very, you know, stupid, really. I mean, they're just really stupid. And if you have the weapon that correlates with them, they just die, like, quickly. very quickly. Whereas in Metroid, you come up against a boss, yeah, you have a weapon that can help you defeat it, but you're not going to have an easy time of it, and you don't know what their health bar is until you're done killing them repeatedly. So it's a bit different. And I would say that overall, Samus has more combat skill because she has more experience and her enemies are more diverse and more uh, effective to deal with. Or, you know. And then we come to the area of equipment. And I would say that Mega Man probably has more variety of equipment, but their effectiveness is the thing that's questionable here. Basically, his only really effective weapons are the ice weapon and the charge weapon. Everything else is just kind of a specific version of something the Robot Masters used against him. I mean, that little throwy blade thing is one of the best weapons in the game, but it wears out your... But he has an ammo gauge, and it wears out pretty quickly. And the reason it's one of the best weapons in the game is because it fires in multiple straight lines. But, I mean, really, against a character who has full mobility, that's not going to be very useful. So it's hard to say if his equipment is really going to make the difference because a lot of it is designed to deal with mooks. And, you know, it has an ammo limit. So in a boss fight, basically, which is what this would be, running out of ammo means that your weapon is now useless. And all of his different special weapons have the same shared ammo. So really he has one weapon that he can use whenever. And it has normal shot, which is lemons, and power shot, which is big lemon thingy. So, you know, Samus, on the other hand, has a lot of different special abilities. She has the grappling thing, which can be used to drain energy from people. Big freaking deal against a robot. Uh, she has fire, ice, uh, and energy-based attacks. She has missiles, which do have an ammo limit, but 255 missiles? Yeah, he's going to die way before you use that amount. And she has charge shots with each of her different weapon types. She can use charge shot and missile together to create a super weapon that's basically a mini nuke. And she can roll into a ball and use morph ball bombs, or the infamous super bomb, which nukes the screen instantly. Very few things can survive a super bomb. And, you know, I'm not sure Mega Man is one of those things, because he never has to survive it. So, all in all, I'd say her equipment is better than his. Mainly because hers is designed to fight dynamic enemies, and his is designed to fight mooks. Which is fine for the game, but not for a competition like this. And the ammo limit is really where it draws him down. I mean, without that, he probably would have a much better chance. But Samus wins this category too. So they're tied in the physical attributes of speed, strength, and defense. Samus maybe has a little bit more health than him. I would say she probably does, so she might win in the defense category by a little bit. Intelligence, Samus. Skill, Samus. Equipment, Samus. So I'd have to say that of the two, Samus is probably going to win. V for the solution, everybody.